This is the Mr.Nobody podcast. Episode 34. It's a short story. Written by my son. The reason I'm here, in this emptiness, is because I made a mistake. I thought this kid's hands were on something valuable, so I grabbed it. It looked like one of those new cell phones on the market. I didn't even know the kid, so it wouldn't have gotten back to me. There wasn't much left of it after the car hit me, though. I shoved him away from me, but I didn't see the car coming. Everyone probably thinks I saved him. He probably thinks I saved him. I don't care too much if I'm dead or whatever. I deserve this. I deserve this. I deserve this. I was 2 months late on my rent when the car hit me. I was going to sell that thing and put it towards the rent. I probably could have gotten $150 for it. I would have made the rent in a week, probably. Now I don't have to go through all that work. Lucky me, right? I can imagine my mom finding out.
Please leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Holding back her emotions.
The mailbox is full. I cannot accept any messages at this time.
She will remember all my accomplishments.
Like always, like always, like always, like always.
And the good things I've done. She'll pretend I didn't make her life hell most of the time. Once, when I was still living with her, this kid asked me if I knew where to get some coke. I did, but it was cheaper just to buy some crack and crush it up. So that's what I did. He asked if he could go do some in the bathroom. I said, fine. Even though I knew my mom would be home soon. 5 minutes went by, and I yelled in and wiggled the door handle, but it was locked.
He didn't respond.
I ended up breaking the bathroom door in to find the asshole slumped over himself on the toilet. He had a needle in his hand and his pants down. Shit in the toilet bowl. I walked over and lifted his head. His eyes were half open and bloodshot. No pulse. Idiot. He didn't tell me he was going to shoot it. But even if he had, I would have said it was fine. When I did an internet search later, I saw something about how crack can solidify in the vein and cause a stroke. I had known people to do it and be just fine, though. I pulled the kid over my shoulder, pulled up his pants. He was younger than me, so his body wasn't too hard to carry. I put his arm over my shoulder. I helped him out to the passenger seat of his car.
Please leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
The mailbox is full. I cannot accept any messages at this time.
I fished his keys out of his jeans and got in the driver's seat. I brought him a few miles from my house to an unmarked dirt road where kids went to smoke pot and hang out. I pulled him over to the driver's seat and left the car running.
I put the needle back in his hand.
Like I'd found it. It was about an hour walk home, taking back roads, and I stopped to get a sandwich at a deli. I used some of the money I'd taken from the kid's wallet before I left him. I took back the drug, too, and sold it to somebody else later that week.
I advised against shooting.
When I got home, my mom was yelling about the broken door and how I forgot to flush the toilet, too. She never found out what happened, though. I can't remember who found the kid, but I remember a whole bunch of my friends talking about it. When my mom found out about him, she hugged me and said how thankful she was that I was alive. She'll pretend I didn't make her life hell. If only I hadn't seen that kid with the cell phone, I wouldn't be here. He would be here. I would have kept walking and gone home to my basement apartment where I could smell the burgers cooking in the restaurant above me and hear the chairs scraping and the cooks yelling until 11 when they closed at night. I would sneak through a window up there once in a while and steal some booze to help me sleep. I never thought I felt guilty about anything. Maybe those nights were my body's way of telling me I did. That kid was terrified when I approached him. He must have been 10. Why do 10-year-olds have the latest gadgets, I wonder? He froze when I grabbed it. Maybe he saw the car. Maybe he let it happen. Well, he gets to live with that. I almost feel good about what happened now. I gave my life so that young kid could live a full one, even if it was unintentional. I'm not sure how long I've been here. There's nothing. Just darkness.
Just darkness.
If it can even be described as that. I have no senses to know the difference. It's just nothing. Nothing. I don't think I even have a body to sense with. I'm part of that nothing. And the feeling of being separate is growing distant. I've had a lot of time to think about my life. I think about my parents and their self-centered eccentricities, my own selfish egoism, all the times I put myself before others. Some of it is hard to think about. I was at a party once. I didn't know anyone there. I had heard about it after hanging out at a club nearby. I had a drink in my hand, but I wasn't drinking. There was this girl who was really drunk there. She was pretty, and I could tell she had come alone. She was pretty. When she wandered my way, I acted like I knew her. I told her I would get her somewhere safe. I also gave her the drink I wasn't drinking. We went upstairs and I led her to a bedroom with a locking door
And locked it behind us.
The room was almost empty, just a mattress on the floor and a desk in the corner. She lay on top of the covers for a minute before I sat next to her. I kissed her neck, but she didn't like it. She mumbled something.
But I covered her mouth.
I unbuttoned her pants and slid them down past her waist. She jerked away and rolled onto her stomach, but I held her there with one hand. She wasn't much smaller than me, but she was easy to control. I pulled her pants to her knees and ripped her underwear so she might remember. When I left, I locked the door from the inside so no one else would bother her. I walked out and took a cab home. Now, I feel sick about the memory. I want to vomit, but I have no stomach. I want to scream or cry, but there are no lungs in this place and no air to fill them. This whole nothing seems to be turning inside out. It feels like I try for days to make any action. Weeks go by. The longer I try, the more I feel distant to myself. I've never felt remorse. It's all rushing in. Or out. I'm not sure. I think months have gone by. It's become hard to identify with my past self. It seems like some kind of story that never existed. The person I once was, the person I once was. I doesn't seem to describe it. The person I once was lost in that world. I still remember him. The person I once was, I still though I doesn't seem to describe it. The person I once was, though I doesn't seem to describe it. But I still remember him. His name was Kieran. He was attractive, and he learned to use that to his advantage. But there was a darkness in his eyes. As a child, the parents of most other children didn't let him over. He would usually get in a fight over a toy or the rules of a game, and lash out. The relationships he had were generally violent ones. The day Kieran's dad left his mom for good was the week before his 7th birthday. He walked home from school that day and stopped at the end of the street where he lived. He watched his dad walk out of the house wearing a baseball cap he only wore on vacations. For vacations. It was black with a cross on the front. Kieran waited for an hour to see if his dad would come back. When he walked into this house, his mom was listening to a Frank Zappa record and messing with the screen door to the backyard, which had been broken for a while. She didn't mention anything to Kieran for almost a week. She said his dad wasn't going to make it to his birthday dinner. The two of them went out for pizza and barely spoke. His mom flirted with the waiter. His dad was a sculptor, fairly well known, but fully unfulfilled. His dad was a sculptor, fully unfulfilled. He took Kieran camping once. Kieran cried when his socks got wet and his dad hadn't packed any extras. There was a roach and lots of dust in the sleeping bag. His dad yelled at him for crying. Kieran woke up that night next to his dad touching himself next to him in the tent. In the morning, his dad had trouble taking down the tent and snapped one of the poles. He kicked the tent and left it there. And they never went camping again. Before he left, Kieran's dad spent almost all of his time in the basement making art or just yelling. His mom would listen to obscure music and build mobiles and other things to sell at shops in town, leaving Kieran at a young age to himself. No friends, and only his parents' lives to emulate. Then there was Sandra. Sandra was already 11 when Kieran turned 8. She had shiny blonde hair and thin lips. Her smile pointed up at the edges.
Then there was Sandra.
Her freckles looked drawn on perfectly. She had green eyes that always interested Kieran. He had only ever seen the almost black eyes he and his parents shared. Sandra moved 2 houses down from Kieran a few weeks after his 7th birthday. She saw him wandering outside, wordless and ignored. When she finally approached him, he didn't think she would speak to him. She was only slightly taller than him, and her eyes made him nervous. Sandra said hello, but Kieran stomped his foot and set off running. A few months went by. Then one morning, Kieran watched Sandra as she was sent off to school by both parents at their front door. They seemed perfect. Kieran hated them. He started walking to get ahead of her, but Sandra caught up and hopped next to him on the sidewalk. She said hello. Kieran didn't respond. He looked over at her without moving his head. He accidentally locked eyes with her and shut his eyes tight. His heart pounded. They continued walking for a few steps, and gently, Sandra took Kieran's hand in hers. They walked like this for a while, not speaking. They stopped for a moment in front of the school. Sandra whispered in his ear, "Thanks for walking with me." Then she set off ahead into school. Kieran let out a deep breath and walked into the building. A year went by, and they often walked to school in a similar way, usually saying nothing. They grew to know each other well. Being neighbors, though, Sandra knew all about Kieran's family, and Kieran often invited her over for dinner. He adored Sandra. His mom was hardly ever home, and Sandra would come over and help him with schoolwork and make grilled cheese sandwiches. They would watch movies that Sandra's parents wouldn't let her watch, like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds or Dracula. Kieran loved watching scary movies, especially with Sandra, who would sit close to him and hold his hand during the scary parts. One night, when they had watched Psycho for the 10th time, Sandra didn't hold Kieran's hand. He felt hurt but didn't say anything. He tried to grab her hand, but she pushed him away and moved to the other side of the couch. They didn't speak until well after the credits ended. And the VHS tape ejected itself, leaving only fuzz on the television. One of Kieran's mom's mobiles creaked, spinning above their heads.
Then there was Sandra.
"I have cancer," Sandra said. "They say it's bad." "Oh," was all Kieran could reply. He didn't know what to say. The next day, Sandra didn't walk to school. Kieran didn't see her for about a week. One night, he got a knock on his bedroom door. He pulled it open and Sandra stood in the doorway. They sat on his bed for a while, not speaking. The doctor said, "I only have 6 months to live." "I love you," Kieran told her. They looked at each other, and Sandra put her arms around Kieran. They lay down and held each other for a long time. When Sandra got up to leave, she pressed her lips against his temple. Kieran didn't move. Kieran didn't move.
Kieran didn't move. Kieran didn't move. Kieran didn't move.
He tucked his knees into his chest and cried. When Sandra died, 8 months later, something died inside of Kieran along with her. The good died in Kieran.
The good. The good. The good. The good.
What I still don't understand, though, if that wasn't me, then who am I, really? If that wasn't me, then who am I, really? Really?
Set your sails, light it up. Use your words, don't talk too much. Oh, there's a lot you've got to learn. You can't go, don't wait your turn. Or lay all lazy, float on downstream. But close that book right on this town and close that book and put it down. 'Cause what you saw is all you say, and what you say is all you said. Oh sorry, some are simply slain. Oh sorry, some are simply slain.
What I still don't understand, though, if that wasn't me, then who am I, really? If that wasn't me, then who am I, really? Really?
I see a light approaching. I see a light approaching.
message. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time.
Good night.
I see a light approaching. I feel myself separate again from the emptiness here. And my mind seems to be emptying out. I forget everything. And my only thoughts go all the way back to a newborn child.
I see a light. I see a light.
I hear voices.
I hear voices. I hear voices. I hear voices. I hear voices. I hear voices. I hear voices.
A man and a woman. And the woman's muffled scream.
I see a light. I see a light.
I think I know now. I reach for the light. I reach for the light.
I reach for the light. I reach for the light. I reach for the light. I reach for the light. I reach for the light.
I think I know now.
I forget everything. I forget everything.
I forget everything.
I think I know now. I think I know now. I think I know now. I think I know now.
I hope there will be answers this time. I hope there will be answers this time.
I hope.
A woman screams at the top of her lungs.
There will be answers. There will be answers this time.
She almost crushes the man's hand she is holding in her hysteria.
If that wasn't me, if that wasn't me, then who am I really? Who am I really? The reason I'm here, the reason I'm here, the reason I'm here, in this emptiness, is because I made a mistake. Because I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I think I know now. I reach for the light.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Says a doctor standing between her legs.
Congratulations. 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 I think I know now. I think I know now. I think I know now.
He wipes the blood and amniotic fluid from a newborn baby girl's face.
I think I know now. 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 I think I know now.
He wipes the blood and amniotic fluid from a newborn baby girl's face.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Mr. Nobody.